What's the secret to making big profits at foreclosure auctions? That's the topic of the video today. If you're just joining us, we are a channel talking about wholesaling real estate, creative real estate, tax lien and deed, investing, and how to get out of jail. That'll be our next video.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about how to profit or how to optimize profits with foreclosure auction investing. And what's really interesting about foreclosure auctions is they can be like a ticking time bomb if you screw them up. And here's how. You could buy a property that maybe, say the property's worth $200K and there's a mortgage on the property, and say the mortgage is like $60K and it's going and the opening bid is $60,000. So you're like, wow, that's really cheap. So you go and you buy it, you look at it, the thing looks good, and you're all excited because the opening bid, what was it, 60K? Yeah. And then you got it for 70. And then you find out that that's like the third mortgage that's foreclosing. And there's actually a first and a second mortgage that you're now stuck with and you have to pay off, and you're screwed. So you totally screwed up. By that point, you just had more money than brains. You didn't do your research. You didn't do title research. You royally screwed up. And that sucks. And you know what? It happens all the time. We see it happen all the time. Yeah. People buy crap. They just have no idea what they're doing. They have money. They think it's easy. It can be easy if you just know what you're doing. So that's one of the things that can happen. Secondly, we've bought a lot of foreclosure properties. And here's the thing with a foreclosure property is most of the time you can't actually see inside the property. So you have to get good at looking with your eyes. So right now, let's say this is like a commercial building that we want to buy. We can't get in. So you have to make your analysis kind of on the fly or on the drive-by. So you're gonna look, you're gonna do your best to figure out kind of what's going on with the property and base your bids accordingly. Because we've bought in some properties that have been just pristine on the inside, but then we've also bought in some that have been disasters. We had one property we bought where the mold inside was so bad. It was disgusting. Like, it reminded me, there was a scene in the X-Files once back in the day where like Mulder and Scully found this wall. It was like some alien and goop, and this wall was like black mold. Like, even the worst or the best mold removal company said nope. Yeah. Like, so yeah, sometimes they're just trashed and disgusting on the inside. So you need to be prepared for that. And that's why you always need to basically budget for an extreme rehab. What do we budget for extreme rehab?
I think like $50-$60 a square foot.
$50-$60 a square foot for total gut
heavy
rehab, basically. Yeah. And that seems to work for us where we are now. You know, you could probably just do a nice little Google search and figure that out for your area. But that's definitely one of the risks. And no matter what, there's going to be a time where you're probably going to get burnt. Depending on how much volume you do, it's kind of inevitable to screw up, and we've screwed up many of them. You know, we've ended up losing money here and there on these properties, but we're also doing these at volume, and sometimes we're buying like 2 or 3 a week. So we basically factored that into our equation. And now somebody getting started, you know, if you're playing with scared money, meaning like this is your whole nest egg, then yeah, it could be stressful. But if you can get that property at a really cheap price, you know, if it's worth 100 and you can get it for 20 or 30 or 40 and still have room if it's worst case scenario and you have to do a full rehab, then you know, you'll still be in good shape. Now that said, we have bought in, what was it now, Corey? 2 properties where they were like demo.
Yeah, we had to One of them, the city shut down, and we had to sell it for $1,000.
What do we pay for it?
All in, we paid like plus paying someone to fix it up, like 16 grand. So we lost like 15.
So we were into it like 15. We'd started it, and the city shut it down and said, "Tear this thing down."
We sold it for $1,000.
We sold it for $1,000. That's a tax write-off too, though.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, and that stuff's going to happen on this. But the secret to really making foreclosure auctions be profitable is knowing the city, knowing the neighborhood, so that you can know what the repair values are, and maybe if you have a friend or find a contractor that you can pay like $100 to go and drive by the property with you, that can definitely help. Depending on where it is, you could even use a little drone to go and check it out. Now, obviously, if the property is occupied, you don't want to be droning overhead. But there's definitely huge opportunity there. You just kind of have to have the courage to go for it. And that is a really big part of this, because one of the biggest things that holds people back is just they think there's going to be this beautiful moment in space and time where they've watched all the YouTube videos and they're never going to make a mistake. They're never going to lose money. And the reality is you're going to make a ton of mistakes. You're going to screw up, and that's how you learn, right? Because we can tell you so much on these videos, but at the end of the day, if it was just doing what was said in these videos, everyone would do it. You have to go and learn the little nuances and idiosyncrasies in this business that make it work with these videos. So you should always be doing like 1-part videos and like 5-10 parts implementation and getting that real world experience. Now, if you're new and you want to get started in real estate, we've put together a handy dandy little cheat sheet that will help you get started. And at this point, this is where the camera guy does a pan out while I prepare. And it's funny when I call him camera guy, because it's actually a business partner, but he's behind the camera. So there he is. That's gonna scare everyone.
Yeah.
Our rate's gonna go down massive.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's okay. So anyways, we put together this cheat sheet to help you get started. It is the 0 to 100K
That's me.
wholesale blueprint. Damn, man. The cartoon version looks good. Trying not to get pooped on by birds. But basically, this sheet shows you how to get started to go from your 0 to 100K in wholesaling. And we have all of the steps marked out on how to start, how to do it, the resources to use. And if it's too confusing, I made a video that goes with it that walks you through. I go through the websites and show you exactly how to do it and what to do. There's a link to that here. Like I mentioned before, we were gonna sell this thing for $97, but wholesaling right now is too good and we were too lazy to build the funnel.
Yeah.
So there's a link below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because otherwise the old Google lords probably won't show you this video.
Yeah, that's tough.
And grab your free copy. Thanks for watching. See you soon.